For much of modern history, vast stretches of Asia were bled dry, colonized, exploited, and left broken. But then came the rebels, the visionaries, the nation-builders who defied the odds. Some united shattered countries. Others turned poverty into prosperity. A few even launched their nations onto the world stage as superpowers. But which of them transformed Asia the most? And whose influence, whether cemented in history or still unfolding, shapes the world today? The countdown begins. From number 6 to the undisputed number 1. Who truly changed Asia forever? Number 6. Arvind Kejriwal, the bureaucrat who took on the system. Before entering politics in 2012, Arvind Kejriwal was a rank-holding IIT engineer who later joined the Indian Revenue Service. Unlike most bureaucrats who stay within the system, Kejriwal grew increasingly frustrated with the deep-rooted corruption he witnessed in governance. Instead of turning a blind eye, he took a bold step, leaving his prestigious government job to fight for systemic change. His activism came into the spotlight when he led the Right to Information movement, empowering citizens to demand transparency in government affairs. However, his real rise began in 2011 as the right-hand man of Anna Hazare in the India Against Corruption movement. The movement shook the political establishment, demanding an anti-corruption ombudsman law called the Jan Lokpal Bill. While the movement did not immediately succeed, it catapulted Kejriwal into national prominence. Realizing that street protests alone wouldn't bring real change, Kejriwal took the radical step of forming his own political party, the Aam Aadmi Party, in 2012. Critics called it political suicide, given India's deeply entrenched two-party system. But Kejriwal's promise of clean governance, transparency, and an end to VIP culture struck a chord with the common man. In 2013, Arvind Kejriwal stunned the nation by becoming Delhi's chief minister, defeating both the mighty Congress and BJP, an unimaginable feat for a political outsider. Though his first term lasted just 49 days, he made a dramatic comeback in 2015, winning a historic 67 out of 70 seats, a landslide victory unprecedented in Indian politics. His governance model quickly set him apart, as he revolutionized education and healthcare in Delhi. Government schools underwent a massive transformation, improving infrastructure and results, while Mohalla clinics became a model for accessible public healthcare. His free electricity and water schemes further solidified his popularity among the masses. Kejriwal's disruptive politics made him a target, with constant clashes against the Modi government and the lieutenant governor often stalling governance in Delhi. As the only Indian leader to break the Congress-BJP monopoly in decades, he posed an unprecedented challenge to the establishment. His biggest test came when he was jailed in a politically motivated crackdown. But even behind bars, he refused to back down, further cementing his image as a relentless fighter against the system. An activist turned politician who defied traditional power structures, Kejriwal remains one of India's most unconventional and resilient leaders. His rise signals a shifting political landscape in Asia, where grassroots movements are increasingly challenging entrenched power. Whether he remains a regional disruptor or emerges as a national force, one thing is certain: love him or hate him, you cannot ignore him. Number 5. Imran Khan, the sports hero turned politician. Before entering politics, Imran Khan was Pakistan's most celebrated sports icon. As the captain of the Pakistan cricket team, he led his underdog squad to an unbelievable victory in the 1992 Cricket World Cup. This triumph was not just about cricket. It became a symbol of Pakistani resilience and self-belief, cementing his status as a national hero. His charisma, leadership, and never-give-up attitude turned him into one of the most admired sports leaders in the world. Rather than enjoying a luxurious post-cricket life, Imran Khan dedicated himself to philanthropy. In 1994, using his global fame, he raised millions to establish Shaukat Khanum Memorial Cancer Hospital, Pakistan's first charity cancer hospital, inspired by his mother's battle with the disease. Later, he also founded Namal University, making quality education accessible to underprivileged students. With fame, fortune, and global recognition, Imran Khan could have easily lived a life of luxury. Instead, he made a bold leap into Pakistan's murky political landscape, driven by a dream of a corruption-free and prosperous nation. In 1996, he founded Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, vowing to challenge Pakistan's entrenched political elite. After years of struggle, he led his party to victory in the 2018 general elections, becoming Prime Minister on August 18, 2018. As a politician, Imran positioned himself as a populist reformer, promising a Naya Pakistan, or New Pakistan, built on transparency and justice. His anti-corruption stance became the cornerstone of his political movement, resonating with millions frustrated by dynastic politics. Once in power, he launched one of Pakistan's largest social welfare initiatives, the EHSAS program, aimed at uplifting the poor. On the foreign policy front, he sought to reduce Pakistan's dependence on Western powers, strengthening ties with China, Russia, and the Muslim world, while attempting a neutral stance in global conflicts. His handling of COVID-19 was also notable, as he avoided full lockdowns, striking a delicate balance between public health and economic stability. Additionally, his background as a cricketing legend allowed him to promote sports and youth engagement, inspiring a new generation of Pakistanis. Once backed by the political elite and military, Imran Khan became a victim of Pakistan's murky politics as his tenure faced economic struggles. In 2022, he was ousted through a no-confidence motion, followed by corruption charges, imprisonment, and an assassination attempt, effectively sidelining him from power. Yet, much like the fearless cricket captain who once led Pakistan to victory against the mighty teams of his time, Imran refused to surrender. Even in the face of betrayal and persecution, he stands tall with an iron will, inspiring millions to continue the fight against corruption. In a region where strongman rulers and dynastic politics dominate, Imran Khan remains a rare symbol of defiance and people's power, an Asian leader who refuses to bow, no matter the odds. Number 4. Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, the visionary who built Dubai from the sands. In the mid-20th century, Dubai was little more than a small desert town with limited resources, a pearl-diving economy, and a population struggling for survival. When Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum took over as ruler of Dubai in 1958, he saw beyond the barren landscape and envisioned a city that would one day become a global center for trade, business, and innovation. Despite having few natural resources, Sheikh Rashid used Dubai's early oil revenues strategically, not to hoard wealth, but to build infrastructure that would fuel long-term growth. He expanded Dubai Creek, allowing larger ships to dock and boosting trade. His biggest gamble came in the 1970s, when he built Port Rashid and Jebel Ali Port, which later became the largest port in the Middle East and a cornerstone of global trade. Critics thought it was a waste of money, but Sheikh Rashid knew that Dubai's future lay in trade, not oil. His vision for global connectivity didn't stop there. In 1985, he founded Emirates Airline, which would later become one of the world's leading carriers, further cementing Dubai's place as an aviation hub. He also welcomed foreign investment, creating a business-friendly environment that attracted multinational corporations. A stark contrast to many oil-rich states that relied solely on natural wealth. But perhaps Sheikh Rashid's most remarkable achievement was shaping Dubai into the only truly multicultural and secular city in the Middle East. While much of the Arab world remained deeply conservative and resistant to change, Dubai embraced diversity, becoming a place where people of all religions and nationalities could live, work, and thrive without restrictions. This openness made Dubai a magnet for global talent, businesses, and tourists, setting it apart as a unique model of progress in an otherwise orthodox region. Sheikh Rashid's leadership was pragmatic, bold, and future-focused. By the time he passed away in 1990, Dubai had transformed from a desert settlement into a rising trade and business hub, laying the foundation for the ultra-modern metropolis it is today. His legacy is visible in every towering skyscraper, bustling port, and international business headquartered in Dubai, a testament to his vision of a city without boundaries. Number 3. Kuan Yew, the man who built Singapore. When Singapore gained independence from Malaysia in 1965, it was a tiny, resource-starved island with no natural wealth, high unemployment, and deep ethnic divisions. Yet, under Kuan Yew's leadership, this small, struggling nation transformed into one of the richest and most developed countries in the world. As Singapore's first prime minister from 1959 to 1990, and its founding father, Lee, didn't just govern. He built a nation from scratch. His model of governance became known as the Singapore Model, a blend of economic pragmatism, strict governance, and social engineering that ensured stability and rapid development. He turned Singapore into a global financial hub with low taxes, a strong rule of law, and business-friendly policies, attracting investors worldwide. His administration rooted out corruption and built one of the world's most efficient bureaucracies, making Singapore a beacon of meritocracy and governance. Unlike many post-colonial leaders, he focused on multiracial harmony, implementing policies that prevented ethnic conflicts and ensured long-term stability. At the same time, he developed world-class infrastructure, making Singapore a model for urban planning. While some call him a benevolent dictator, even his critics acknowledge that Singapore's success is inseparable from his leadership. His strict policies on press freedom and limited democracy remain controversial, but his ability to turn a former fishing village into a global powerhouse has influenced leaders worldwide, including in China. His legacy proves that even a tiny nation with the right leadership can become an economic giant. Number 2. Deng Xiaoping, the man who awakened the dragon. By the 1940s, Deng Xiaoping was a stalwart of the Chinese Communist Revolution and a close associate of Mao Zedong. However, his real significance in history comes not as a revolutionary, but as a reformer. Unlike Mao, who prioritized ideology over pragmatism, Deng was a realist who believed that China needed to embrace economic modernization to survive. Deng Xiaoping survived multiple political purges during Mao's rule, including the Cultural Revolution, only to make a stunning comeback after Mao's death in 1976. By 1978, he had seized control of the Communist Party and set China on an entirely new path. His greatest legacy was transforming China from a closed, socialist state into a global economic powerhouse. Under his leadership, he introduced market-oriented reforms, allowing private businesses and foreign investments under what he called socialism with Chinese characteristics. He established special economic zones, turning cities like Shenzhen into global manufacturing hubs. His pragmatic approach was best captured in his famous remark, "It doesn't matter if a cat is black or white, as long as it catches mice," signifying that economic success mattered more than ideological purity. Deng also led China's diplomatic re-engagement with the world, normalizing ties with the United States and opening up trade, setting the stage for China's meteoric rise as a global economic force. Today, China stands as the world's second-largest economy, a manufacturing giant that dominates global supply chains and a key player in international trade, diplomacy, and technology. Its Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, spans continents, extending its economic and geopolitical influence far beyond Asia. Much of this transformation can be traced back to Deng's vision, which not only reshaped China, but also redefined the global economic order. Deng's vision transformed China into a global powerhouse, but few leaders faced the challenge of building a nation from the ground up. At number 1, we have the leader who took on that monumental task and shaped the future of 1 billion people. Number 1, Jawaharlal Nehru, the architect of modern India. Before becoming India's first Prime Minister in 1947, Jawaharlal Nehru played a crucial role in securing the nation's independence. Alongside Gandhi and other leaders, he led a movement that took on the might of the British Empire and won. As a key negotiator, he helped ensure a hard-fought but smooth transition from 200 years of colonial rule to self-governance. But for Nehru, the real challenge began after independence. India was economically drained, industrially backward, and deeply divided, grappling with mass poverty, religious and linguistic tensions, regional conflicts, and the devastation of partition. As Prime Minister, he faced the monumental task of building a nation from scratch. He laid the foundations of democracy, industrialization, and scientific progress, while also working to unify a fragmented country and establish strong democratic institutions. His leadership in these crucial years shaped India's future for generations to come. He pushed for a scientific temperament in a country steeped in superstition, establishing institutions like the Indian Atomic Energy Commission and the precursor to ISRO. He called dams, steel plants, and power stations the temples of modern India, knowing that industrial growth was essential for self-reliance. One of Nehru's greatest legacies was in education. He established the IITs in 1951, envisioning them as world-class institutions that would shape India's future. His foresight paid off decades later, playing a crucial role in India's emergence as a global technology hub. India's tech boom in the 1990s was significantly driven by IIT graduates, many of whom later held leadership roles in top global companies like Google and IBM. Even as he grappled with the colossal challenges of leading a poor and fragile new nation, Nehru commanded global respect as a statesman of towering stature, respect that no other Indian Prime Minister has since been able to match. On the world stage, Nehru positioned India as a neutral power, co-founding the non-aligned movement and refusing to become a pawn in the Cold War. Nehru's democratic ideals, industrial policies, and scientific vision continue to shape India today. Without him, India might not have had the strong democratic foundation or the IT revolution that put it on the global map. His legacy is one of nation-building against impossible odds, and the institutions he created continue to define India's rise in the 21st century. And that brings us to the end of this episode. From visionaries who built nations to leaders who redefined governance, each of these figures left a lasting mark on Asia. While their paths and ideologies differed, they all proved that strong leadership can transform a nation's destiny. Who do you think had the greatest impact? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to Whispering Peepal for more thought-provoking content. See you in the next one.